Yeah, I think there wouldn't be much point in making another record if you didn't try and make something bigger and better, or at least very different. And I think we just went for bigger and better. And it was really, I don't know, it was really interesting and really good fun to do that and to work, to work for a very intense period of time on just writing and recording music. I'm looking forward to doing it again, actually, to be honest. Although we probably won't get the opportunity for a little while, but yeah, looking forward to album number 3.
I think on the first record we were, we were young. We were very confident in the music that we wanted to make, but we were quite reliant on sort of external personnel, whether that be producers, even people at the label. The guy Max, who was co-producing and engineering the record, then Alan to kind of mix it and actually fix a lot of mistakes that we probably made during the recording as well. Whereas on this record, we did so much of it by ourselves, really. I mean, when we went into the studio with Alan and Max again, the demos that we'd made were, whilst sonically they weren't complete, they were very, very confident and strong-minded. When you listen to them, you couldn't imagine changing them too much other than just bettering the sounds and getting it slightly higher fidelity, I guess. I think, and that must have come from all the touring that we did, and getting a little bit more savvy with technology, and you can always be bettering yourself, and it now more than ever I'm aware that it really pays to be pretty well in control of of all this software and the instrumentation that you can make use of to write music on the road even as well. I hope that's something that will keep getting better and better with us.
We had Alan confirmed before we started writing anything, so we knew all along that he was going to be the producer for the record. And I think that really helped with the sound and the structure of the record, because as we were writing, me and Charles in my house in London, we were emailing the tracks round, obviously to Jack, but also to Max and Alan as well, and so we were all involved together from the very beginning, basically, and therefore when we came into the studio, Max and Alan sort of had a few ideas about what they thought could happen with the songs and where they could take the songs before we even started recording them, which was really great, and it helped us move things along a lot quicker than we would have otherwise.
The pre-production basically happened via email. The 2 weeks that some bands would spend in the studio with the producers, listening to the demos and talking about them and going, how are we going to do this, how are we going to do that? That was sort of compressed to about 2 hours per song, because so much dialogue had already come about via email, via phone conversations, even via a couple of meetings as well, and that was really nice, because to be honest, studios are, no matter how luxurious or exotic they may look, not that this one we recorded out in London was, they're still studios, and I'd rather not spend any more time than is absolutely necessary in them. They're not particularly creative environments. They're just there to make stuff sound as good as possible, really.
I'll tell you, probably over the course of the recording process, that was something that happened more. I mean, the demos didn't sound that way. The demos of the songs didn't sound like there were songs which were stadium ready or anything like that. And it wasn't really, I don't think it was a particular aim. It's just when you work with someone like Alan, who has specific talents, and you want to make the most of that. You want to make the most of what he's good at, and help him help you make a great record. It kind of just maybe geared it that way slightly. I still don't see it as an album full of stadium rock tracks. I think there's a few which sound great in big rooms, and we've had the pleasure of playing the songs in some amazing spaces. I think we even played bigger than us, possibly on some shows with Coldplay. Did we do that?
Yeah. With Muse.
Muse. Sorry, that's it. Yeah.
Stade de France.
So we played in like some of the biggest stadiums in the world and got to play that song, and it's like that one. that one works here. But then there's other ones on the record which I think are too, I don't know, either stripped down a little bit or a little. You need a bit more patience with some of the songs on the album. I think, you know, the songs which are pushing 5 or 6 minutes, for me they wouldn't be immediate stadium anthems. But I like that there's a kind of mix of, you know, quite diverse sound on the record and a mix of styles with that.
I think for me, really, what it comes down to is that we still approach writing songs with a deep interest in pop music, really, and you know that I think pop music shifts sort of. To me, it seems every 20 years or something. Whereas in the 60s, I guess there were a lot of 50s and 60s, there were a lot of crooners, things like Scott Walker and Walker Brothers and the Beatles. That was considered pop music. In the 70s, there was, I think, quite an antisocial backlash with a lot of prog, Black Sabbath, things like that. It's still, you know, was very popular, but it's not conventional pop music. Then the 80s came, and again, you know, that's where people just wanted to make huge stadium-filling anthems. Even if you're Bruce Springsteen or Duran Duran or Tears for Fears or even, you know, sort of heavy rock bands like Def Leppard, you know, God knows, everyone's had this real passion to kind of be outdoing each other to make the best pop music possible. And then the 90s happens, and again, it's completely antisocial. It's like, how can we completely tear this down with bands like Nirvana? And now we're in an era with a huge emphasis on pop music again, but at the moment it's not the kind of thing that we're doing. I mean, there's a lot of dance-orientated stuff going on, very heavily tailored to clubs, to actually probably quite small clubs. So I guess that's why we get compared maybe to bands from the 80s sometimes, because we do have that pop sensibility, but it's aimed maybe in a different way than a lot of contemporary pop music now.